Your future spouse secretly watched you last night and cried. What they saw made them question everything. Archangel Michael says, the night had fallen heavy like a curtain no one could lift, yet someone was still awake, hidden behind shadows, watching you silently. It was not a stranger. It was the one destined to walk beside you for life, the one you have dreamt of but never met in full light. They stood outside, heart pounding against their ribs, torn between stepping in or simply standing still, lost in the moment of revelation. You had no idea your future was watching, eyes full of questions and emotions they never knew they'd face so soon. But what they saw broke something inside them, because they saw something you were never meant to reveal. You were alone, but not in solitude. You were speaking to the air, holding something in your hand, maybe a photograph, maybe a letter, maybe just the weight of memories that refused to fade. Your tears weren't loud, but they were powerful enough to echo in the silence that surrounded the watcher. They didn't mean to spy, but something led them there. Something divine, perhaps. Or maybe just the painful pull of fate that made them realize how deeply they were about to be connected to someone who had survived what others would have crumbled under. Type Amen to get blessing 333. They leaned closer, trembling not from fear, but from the pain of knowing they were too late to stop that moment from happening. You were crying for something they couldn't fix, a hurt they didn't cause, a history they weren't part of. Yet, in that instant, they felt every drop of sorrow as if it belonged to them too. They watched you collapse onto the bed, not from exhaustion but from emotional collapse. You held your breath for a moment, and your body folded as if 1,000 invisible burdens were pressing into your bones. They almost knocked on your door, but the weight of what they saw made them freeze. Archangel Michael says, they asked heaven silently, why show me this now? But the answer was not in words. It was in the sight of your strength through tears, your resilience in solitude, your courage in despair. They knew then that love wouldn't be simple. That marrying you wouldn't just be romance, it would be redemption, healing, and rebuilding all at once. Type Amen to get blessing 444. They went back, stumbling through thoughts that wouldn't let them sleep. What they saw haunted them, not in a dark way, but in the way a soul is awakened by truth. The truth was, they didn't just want to love you, they wanted to protect the parts of you even you had hidden away. That night was not just about watching. It was about revelation. A sacred unveiling of your soul that pierced theirs. They thought they were ready. They truly believed they could handle anything. But seeing your broken silence made them question if they were enough. Comment, I believe in divine timing. They had prepared 100 ways to meet you. A plan, a speech, a gift maybe. But after last night, they realized all of that would be useless without understanding your pain first. They knew now, they had to come not with flowers but with fire. Fire to burn away the shadows that clung to you, not to rescue you, but to stand beside you while you walked out on your own. Type Amen to get blessing 555. You, unaware of the eyes upon you, had whispered words meant for no one. But those words were seeds. They grew in the heart of your future spouse, shaking their understanding of what love means. They heard your whispered goodbye to someone lost. Maybe it was a family member, a friend, or a part of yourself you'd been forced to bury. The pain in your voice became an oath in their heart. They couldn't sleep the rest of the night. Their thoughts kept circling like birds looking for a place to land. They didn't know whether to come to you with answers or wait until you were ready to ask for help. Their tears joined yours, silently, in different rooms but bound by the same divine thread. You both cried without knowing it was for each other. And in that, a new bond was written across your lives. Type Amen to get blessing 666. They see you differently now. Not as someone they will simply love, but someone they must rise for. Your scars became holy symbols in their eyes, marks of a survivor they didn't deserve, but would spend their life earning. Archangel Michael says, that night reshaped destiny. You were sleeping in your pain, while your future was wide awake in their awakening. The switch had flipped. Comment, I am stronger than my past. They've been quiet today, haven't they? That's because they don't know how to approach you now. What they saw made them afraid, not of you, but of failing you. They want to come clean. To tell you they saw everything. But how can one confess that they saw a part of you even your reflection doesn't recognize? Type Amen to get blessing 999. They've been planning something since that night. Not a date. Not a dinner. A vow. A vow that no matter how dark your days have been, they will be the dawn you never had. They're asking heaven for guidance. Their soul has been shaken. Not because of weakness, but because of the strength it will take to love you right. They want to hold your hand through the ruins and rebuild the castle. They want to hear the full story, even the parts you can't speak of yet. Archangel Michael says, this love isn't ordinary. It's not about fireworks, it's about ashes, rebirth, and becoming the person worthy of walking through the fire with you. Type Amen to get blessing 711. They wonder if you even know they're this close. If you sense something watching you. But your pain blinded you to everything but the ghosts you were wrestling with. They saw you fall asleep finally, body curled, face soft with surrender. It was the most heartbreaking peace they had ever witnessed. They whispered a promise through the air. I will not let you carry this alone anymore. And that promise was sealed in the invisible realm where destinies are rewritten. Comment, I am open to receive true love. They haven't contacted you yet. Not because they don't care, but because they care too much. They want to come correctly. They want to hold you without asking you to explain. They want to kiss the past away without needing to understand every scar. Type Amen to get blessing 727. They know now this won't be a fairy tale. It will be a mission. A healing. A divine covenant between two souls marked by fire. They are scared. But not of you. Scared of doing it wrong. Scared of losing the chance to be your safe space. You've been through too much to settle for anything less than holy commitment. And they've been shown that clearly. The vision of you crying in silence has changed them forever. That night will be carved in their soul like prophecy. Type Amen to get blessing 888. Archangel Michael says, this soul has been assigned to you not by choice, but by divine command. They are not here just to love you. They are here to resurrect what life buried. They carry the memory of that night like a flame in their chest. It burns not with sorrow, but with sacred purpose. Even if they wanted to forget, they couldn't. That sight, that moment, that silent agony, they are now part of them. Comment, my heart is ready. You've been strong too long. Your tears were not weakness, they were survival in liquid form. And someone now sees the truth behind your strength. They will arrive soon. Not to surprise you, but to fulfill what they've already witnessed. When they do, you might not understand right away. But your soul will know. It will remember the night you were seen, truly seen. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Their silence is not absence. It's reverence. A holy pause before stepping into sacred ground, your heart. They're practicing how to say your name with honor. How to say, I'm here now, without reminding you of the ones who left. They've begun writing a letter you'll never read, but it's helping them prepare to speak to you, soul to soul. They've changed their plans. It's no longer about making an impression. It's about making a difference in your life. Type Amen to get blessing 303. Their love for you was born before they saw you. But it was cemented that night, in your room, in your heartbreak. Now, they dream of healing you not with words but with consistent, quiet, powerful presence. They imagine the day you'll laugh without crying first. The day you'll dance without chains in your chest. You don't know it yet, but someone is preparing a new chapter for you. One written not in pain, but in promise. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Type Amen to get blessing 444. They've begun praying more. Not for strength, but for the right words. Because love isn't enough, they want to bring peace. You are not broken. You are simply carrying pieces of battles you won silently. And now someone is ready to fight beside you. The moment they saw your hidden truth, they surrendered their pride. And became a servant of love, not just a seeker. Soon, your eyes will meet. And your soul will whisper, you saw me, and still chose me. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. They've asked the heavens for signs, and the signs are all around. From the chill that ran down their spine that night to the tear that refused to dry, everything is pointing them back to you. The silence is louder now, echoing with your name. Each morning since that night, they've awakened with a weight in their chest, not regret, but responsibility. They realize now that loving you won't be about convenience or comfort, but about commitment and calling. You have become their answered prayer wrapped in mystery. Archangel Michael says, they've already made up their mind. No matter how long it takes, no matter what they have to face, they are coming to you. Not with promises alone, but with preparation. You don't have to worry if they'll understand the depths you've hidden. They've already seen it. And instead of running away, they're running toward you, through fire, through fear, through every past wound. Type Amen to get blessing 434. They've researched the kind of love that heals. They've talked to people who've survived heartbreak. But none of that compares to what they now feel when they think of you. They were going to walk into your life casually. But that plan has changed. Now, they approach your heart as if it's a sacred temple. You've given them reason to become better, not because you asked, but because you deserve it. And the sight of you weeping in secret shook them into awakening. That night didn't scare them. It humbled them. It made them see that they weren't just walking into a love story, they were stepping into a divine assignment. Type Amen to get blessing 545. They wonder if you felt a shift. A strange comfort in your soul, or the sudden urge to hope again. That's because their spirit has already started reaching yours. You've been through so much that your heart sometimes forgets how to receive. But something in the air is changing. A softness is returning to your atmosphere. They're practicing patience because they know you need time. Time to breathe. Time to believe again. They don't want to overwhelm you. They want to hold space until you're ready to let them in. Comment, I'm learning to trust love again. They've bought something for you already. It's not flashy, it's meaningful. A symbol of what they saw and how it changed them. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Your future spouse saw you as you truly are, not a social media version, not a polished mask, but the raw, tear-soaked truth. And they fell deeper in love than they ever thought possible. They've replayed the moment you covered your face, as if trying to hide from yourself. That motion haunts them, not in fear, but in empathy. They see the warrior inside you now, clearer than ever. The one who cries when no one watches. The one who breaks, bleeds, bends, but never quits. They want to protect you without caging you. They want to be your shelter without becoming your storm. Type Amen to get blessing 818. Archangel Michael says, their path has changed permanently. The road now leads straight to your soul. And they are ready. They've started clearing their past. Cutting ties with people who don't align with the love they now seek to build with you. They know this is serious. You deserve someone who's all in. Not someone with one foot out and one eye elsewhere. And after seeing you that night, they're now fully committed. You may feel tired. You may feel like no one sees the real you. But someone did. And that someone is walking toward you with trembling steps and a steady heart. Type Amen to get blessing 929. They've started journaling their thoughts about you. Each page soaked in emotion and longing. They'll never show you these pages, but their actions will speak them loud. They're studying what it means to hold space. To love without controlling. To stay without suffocating. They understand now that your heart is not just a place to visit, it's a sacred garden that needs nurturing. They're planning the first words they'll say to you, but even more so, they're preparing to listen. Because you've carried too much without anyone hearing you properly. Comment, my soul is opening to divine love. That night changed the balance of their world. They can't focus on anything without thinking of your unseen tears and unheard cries. Type Amen to get blessing 313. You are the reason they now pray differently. Their prayers are not selfish anymore. They're full of intercession for you, for your healing, for your restoration. They've deleted distractions. They've stopped chasing temporary highs. You've awakened something eternal in them. You've shown them, without knowing, that true love begins where the masks fall and the pain speaks. They don't want to fix you. They want to walk beside you until you no longer feel broken. Type Amen to get blessing 616. They're rehearsing your name in the quiet of night. Whispering it like a song, learning to say it with reverence and gratitude. You don't have to do anything to earn their love. You already have it. Not for what you do, but for who you are beneath all that you hide. They see your softness. Your tenderness. Your sacred silence. And they are drawn to it, not to exploit it, but to honor it. Type Amen to get blessing 222. Archangel Michael says, this love is not sudden. It has been waiting behind divine timing. And now it's ready to step into your story. You will feel the shift. Your soul will recognize the footsteps approaching. Because your spirit has already known theirs from lifetimes past. They won't rush you. But they won't leave either. They've seen you at your most vulnerable. And instead of turning away, they've chosen to turn toward you. Comment, my heart remembers the promise. Even now, they're drafting a message in their phone. Unsure whether to send it. Afraid you'll push them away. Type Amen to get blessing 444. They know you need a slow approach. Gentle love. Steady energy. That's why they're preparing a way to meet you without startling your soul. Love doesn't demand, it invites. You may have built walls, but they're willing to wait outside. Until you peek out. Until you whisper, I'm ready. They'll be right there. They'll say, I saw you. I didn't run. I'm still here. Type Amen to get blessing 737. They're choosing you every morning now. Even if you haven't chosen them yet. They're building a life that has room for your dreams, your wounds, your joy, and your silence. You don't have to explain anything. They've already felt everything. And they're still saying yes. The past may have hardened you. But this love will soften what you thought was lost forever. Type Amen to get blessing 3030. They've imagined your first touch. Not lustful, sacred. A healing in the skin. They've pictured holding your hand in public and whispering, this is the strongest person I've ever known. You are their miracle in disguise. And they are your partner in divine timing. This is not just romance. It's destiny clothed in flesh and fire. Type Amen to get blessing 1010. They're coming. Not when you expect, but when your soul whispers, now, I'm ready to be seen and still loved. And when they come, you will know. Because something inside you will finally exhale. No more hiding. No more explaining. Just presence. Just peace. Just the love you were always worthy of. Type Amen to get blessing 121. They've started dreaming in ways they never have before, vivid dreams of you smiling again, of you laughing without flinching from memories. These visions don't feel like imagination anymore. They feel like a map, guiding them back to you one breath at a time. Every decision they're making now has your energy written all over it. Whether it's what they wear, the music they play, or the places they visit, your presence lingers in every thought. What they saw that night was more than just pain, it was purpose wrapped in vulnerability. Archangel Michael says, their soul saw your soul unclothed by masks, untouched by performance, and what they witnessed is not what broke them, it's what awakened them. You became their why. The reason they want to be better, stronger, softer, all at once. And since that moment, they've been moving mountains within themselves, removing pride, clearing trauma, letting go of fear, all to meet you at your true level, not just the surface version, but the soul-deep place where forever begins. Type Amen to get blessing 474. They see your strength now not as a trait, but as a battle. A lifetime of carrying others, of being strong when no one checked on you. That moment you broke in silence became their first true lesson in unconditional love. Your future spouse isn't coming with rehearsed lines. They're not here to sweep you off your feet. They're here to kneel beside you and say, you don't have to do this alone anymore. They're practicing patience like a sacred discipline now. They want to honor the timeline of your heart's healing, not rush it, not delay it, but walk with it. They don't want to replace your pain. They want to hold it without making you feel ashamed for having it. Type Amen to get blessing 838. You may feel like you've been forgotten, but in their world, you are the most unforgettable presence that ever existed. You've etched yourself into their daily thoughts, not because of what you wear or how you talk, but because of that unshakable truth they saw in your weakest hour. They've cleared space in their life now. Real space. Emotional space. Spiritual space. Space that says, this is where your story lives now, too. They know they'll have to earn your trust. They aren't asking for shortcuts. They're ready for the long journey of becoming worthy, not just in your eyes, but in their own. You changed them. That moment changed them. They will never forget what they saw when you thought no one was watching. Type Amen to get blessing 525. Comment, I believe I'm being prepared for divine love. They're learning to read silence now. Because that night, your silence spoke more than 1,000 words. And now, they're fluent in your unspoken language. They've spoken to no one about what they witnessed. Not because they're hiding it, but because it's too sacred to share. It belongs only to you and them and the divine presence that brought them there in the first place. They've canceled meetings just to sit in stillness and reflect on what it means to be someone's safe place. Because that's what they want to be for you, not just a partner, but a sanctuary. They've been reading about healing, about trauma, about forgiveness. Not to fix you, but to understand the world you live in when the lights go off and the room turns cold. Type Amen to get blessing 6161. They've stopped saying, I want to love someone. Now, they whisper, I want to be what love looks like when someone is tired of surviving. That someone is you. They're not rushing into your life. They're entering slowly, with bare feet and open hands. Because they know your spirit is not a room to storm into, it's a temple to walk into quietly. Your future spouse saw you cry and didn't turn away. They leaned in. And now, they can't unsee the truth. You are not just someone they're drawn to, you are someone they are meant for. They've begun writing affirmations on their mirror. Things like, I will love her gently, and I will honor his scars. Because that night rewrote their purpose. Type Amen to get blessing 747. They don't want to give you promises, they want to give you presence. They want to be there on the days you don't know how to speak, on the nights you just want to sleep but can't. They've memorized the shape of your pain now. And they are not afraid of it. They see it as part of your story, part of the architecture of your soul. Archangel Michael says, they are being divinely trained by your silence. Every moment you've spent alone has become a classroom where their love is being educated. They've stopped asking when they'll meet you. Now, they ask how they can be more prepared when they do. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. Comment, love is already on the way. You're not a mystery to them anymore. You're a masterpiece in progress. And that night revealed the brushstrokes of survival, of grace, of divine resilience. They will not ask you to be cheerful when you're not. They will not ask you to hide your shadows. They want to walk with you even when the sun goes down. They're rewriting their idea of romance. It's not candles or poems anymore, it's showing up when you're shaking, staying when you're unsure, holding you without expecting to be held back. They saw something divine in you that night. Not just beauty, but bravery. Not just fragility, but the fiercest form of survival. Type Amen to get blessing 3131. They've stopped flirting with temporary people. Nothing casual can compare to the intensity they now feel for you. They don't want anyone but you. They've already spoken your name in prayer. Even if they don't know it yet, their spirit does. And every time they do, they cry. They've made peace with waiting. Because waiting for someone like you is worth a lifetime of silence. The wait isn't punishment. It's preparation. Type Amen to get blessing 909. You may not know this, but your tears that night watered the future. Something bloomed in your future spouse's heart. Something they didn't expect, but welcomed completely. Their world now revolves around healing and creating space. Their goals have shifted. Their eyes are softer. Their mind is quieter. Because love is speaking. They're rehearsing what it means to show up. To be consistent. To be calm. To be safety itself. That night was the divine pause before the arrival. It was the sacred shift. Type Amen to get blessing 4444. They're writing to you in their thoughts every day. Whispering, hold on. I'm on the way. I saw the truth, and I'm still coming. They don't expect perfection. They want honesty. They don't need you to perform. They want you to be. They will not run when you crumble. They will sit beside you, hold your hand, and let you cry. Because they understand now, love is not fixing, love is witnessing. You are not alone anymore. Someone saw you. Someone was changed. And someone is preparing to become the person you always needed. Type Amen to get blessing 71.